It's not just about that anymore. Now it's been seized by the commercial world and it's about charcoal masks and jade rollers and getting a FabFitFun box every month. What is up, you guys? It's May. Welcome back to my channel, and today we are going to have a little sit down and chat video about self-care. I want to open this video with a quote from Brené Brown. This is from her audiobook, The Power of Vulnerability. This is what it looks like. So she's talking about authenticity in this part of her audiobook, which is not what this video is about, but the things she says about authenticity I thought was like completely related to what I was gonna talk about with self-care. So she talks about this idea that she found on a blog post that authenticity is the new bullshit. She says, when words like authentic get co-opted and commercialized, especially by the corporate sector, and we start talking about authentic leadership, and authentic Fritos, and authentic jeans, and authentic underwear, we get burnout on the word. And I totally feel like that is what has happened to self-care recently. Because it's not just about just taking care of yourself, being kind to yourself, but no, it's not just about that anymore. Now it's been seized by the commercial world and it's about charcoal masks and jade rollers and getting a FabFitFun box every month. And it's lost its meaning because now it's about spending money. And it doesn't have to be. So I thought that in this video, I would share with you some great self-care ideas that cost $0 that I use for me. And I think self-care looks different for everyone, for sure. Like there are gonna be things that are like important to you that other people don't value as much and vice versa. But I think there are a lot of things that are pretty universal, and I just thought that I would share like what works for me and maybe give you guys some ideas, and yeah. Self-care has actually been something I've been thinking quite a lot about recently, just like in the last week. Like I was suffering from terrible headaches last week, and I was on the phone with my parents on like, I think it was Tuesday night. I'm like talking about how I have a splitting headache and like I can't move my eyes without it hurting, and I was on the phone with my parents and they're like, you need to go to bed, like your homework isn't this important, like just try to do it in the morning, or like maybe it just doesn't get done, like you need to go to sleep. And that's something that is so difficult for me because it's like, no, I have to finish this is more important. Sleep can just wait. But it's like, no, because part of the reason my headaches get aggravated is because I don't get enough sleep. And so that relates to two things for self-care. It could be going to bed early and not doing all my homework. And that's something I've talked about in videos before as well, where I struggle with perfectionism when it comes to homework and schoolwork and wanting to focus all my energy toward that. So that means that maybe I don't take as many notes when I'm reading, or don't take any notes if I'm not feeling it, you know, like, or if I have a lot to do, or maybe I don't finish the reading, or I skim the reading, or, you know, things like that. It was just very hard for me. But if that's what it takes to allow me to do other things with my life and allows me to go to bed earlier, then that's important and that's what I need to do. I think that sleeping more is one of the most like important forms of self-care, because when you're exhausted you can't function, or at least that's how it works for me. Like then my whole next day is like ruined and I don't feel good the whole day. Another thing would be saying no. Obviously, like, don't say no like all the time, but sometimes it's okay to say no, I don't want to go out, I want to have a quiet night in and watch Netflix. And saying no to people asking for favors and setting boundaries. This isn't really that much something I have to do, but I think it works for, like, it applies for a lot of people. Like if you're someone who just says yes all the time, if that's your default response, then learning to say no and set boundaries is important. And then on the other side of that is to say yes sometimes if you really want to do something. And then another thing would be journaling. So I guess technically that costs money because you have to get a journal, but I mean you could just write on a piece of paper or like write it on your phone, so still counts as $0. That's something that I do quite frequently, and I think that's important because it's something that's like just for me. Like it doesn't have like a higher purpose, because even writing, like I have like a higher goal in mind, like writing one of my books, but if I'm just like journaling, it's just like me time. and I don't like do enough of that. I don't think a lot of us do. Also something like taking a walk and listening to a podcast or an audiobook or something where it's just something for you, something that you want to do. And then another thing that I've been working on recently as a form of self-care is letting myself feel emotions deeply. I'm like a naturally sensitive person, so I just like have a lot of emotions all the time, and like sometimes it's annoying, but like my tendency when I have like a negative emotion or I'm thinking about like something that happened is to like push it, be like, we're done, like we're not gonna think about this. But then when you push things away like that, you end up still thinking about them anyway, but not in a good way. I hope this is making sense, but like this is something that I've been working on in therapy. Like something will happen or I'll feel something and I'll be like, nope, we're not gonna go there. But then it still spins around in my mind instead of just dealing with it head on and letting myself feel that emotion. So like if I feel sad, I'm gonna let myself cry and feel sad, you know? Like instead of just automatically trying to make myself feel better, or you know, like it's okay to feel your emotions fully. And then these cost money, but these are things I use. I use a heating pad that's pretty cheap. I have a lot of stomach pain, so I'll put it on my stomach. I have back and neck tension, so I'll put it on my like right here, like on my shoulders. What I've been doing recently, I take showers in the evening, so I shower and then I put on the heating pad and I make tea while I'm finishing my homework or whatever, and it's just like a nice little ritual that makes me feel better. I also have an essential oil diffuser. This one was, I think, $30-something. It's from Amazon. I'll try to link it down below if I remember. I think it's like Art Naturals or something is the brand. Yeah, it is, Art Naturals, and it came with a set of essential oils. And so what I really like to do is to put on the essential oil diffuser as I'm getting ready for bed, and that is like calming and feels good to me. I usually do like lavender and frankincense or like peppermint or something. And also music is something that I think for me counts as a form of self-care. Like if I'm sad or upset or whatever, like listening to music is something that's like very calming and like it's just nice. Like self-care just doesn't have to be expensive, you know what I mean? Like when I talked about those things like that have become commercialized, like yeah, like for sure that's still self-care, but like that's not really what self-care is, you know what I mean? Like it's something you could do as part of your self-care routine, but like you don't have to. So I worry about the message that a lot of influencers and other people are sending, where it's like, oh, like self-care with my jade ruler and like self-care with this and that. Like don't think that self-care is like something like unachievable for you because you see that, you know what I mean? So yeah, I think basically the message that I'm trying to put out is just like think about what is relaxing, what's calming to you. Think about having time just for yourself, even if it's just like 5 minutes. Sorry guys, my camera cut off and I had already put my tripod away, so I'm just taking the rest of this video here. I don't know what is wrong with this camera, but anyway, that was all I was gonna say. So basically just thank you guys for watching this video, and please comment down below any thoughts you have about this and any of your self-care ideas, because I'm always looking for more things. So if you guys do something that you like, I want to know what it is. And yeah, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye.